Oh, hi, everybody, and welcome back to Akashic Adventures. I'm here with Viviani and Diana, and we are the flight attendants, of course. I want to welcome all of you. Viviani is, well, we're having some technical difficulties today. Viviani wasn't able to stream to her channel, and we were trying to work it out like a couple hours ago. Okay, we didn't leave it till Viviani's very well prepared, and she did not leave it to the last minute, but we were not able to live stream to Viviani's channel. And so there will have to be some investigation
Mhm.
about that later on. So apologies. We've checked everything. We can't see any settings that are wrong or anything. So yeah. Um, and I want to say hi to a bunch of people that are here, and we can all say hi. Like you guys can interrupt me. It's not like I'm the Queen of Sheba.
Mhm.
We
Randy,
will.
Randy was the first one here. She plaintively says, "Is anyone here yet?" Uh, and it doesn't. Okay, you can phrase your because she's asking some questions about phrasing the question, and is there a wrong question to ask? Well, there's some questions that are easier to answer than others. First of all, the more detail, like the more precisely you ask your question, the easier it is for us to answer. The more
Mhm.
specific the question is, easier it is for us to answer. The other difficulty that is almost universal amongst Akashic Records readings is getting timing. Uh, it's very hard for us to get timing on anything. We'll get a vague sort of, probably this year, but maybe next year. At least that's my experience, and I hear that from fellow readers as well. So some questions just can't be answered. I personally am really uncomfortable with asking, how's my boyfriend feeling about me? Because, first of all, I don't have his permission to read him. And secondly, would it kill you to ask? Have you thought of asking? Um, Julie, go ahead. Hi, and go ahead and ask. And we would appreciate it if you put the questions in capital letters because it's easier for us to find them that way. You don't need to put, you can put emojis. You don't have to put emojis. We don't care. Um, just we want to be able to see them. And if their chat goes so fast sometimes that it's hard for us to catch them. So, hi, Harley. Hi, T. Lynn. Hi, Julie and Dakota Celt. And let's see that. Oh, there's Julie's question. And there's hi, Hypnicity. Yeah, solar storms. Don't even get me started on the solar storms. And Diane Gee, hi, Diane. I'm glad to see you here. Chris Cassidy, hi. Barbara
Carl.
Ness, hello. And Teresa Levine's here. Sue Toffee, hi. Star Chat fam. Yeah.
Hypnicity,
CJ,
you and I have to set up a time. And Carl, you and I have to set up a time. So, how is Sunday looking for either one of you or both of you?
um, Carl Hees is here. It's 5 a.m. He got home at 3. That must have been a party. No,
Who's
I
probably
was,
working?
yeah, he probably was. I know. I just, I'm living
Yeah.
vicariously, right? Rossi, hi. And Ron DeForest. Oh, that's a good question, Ron DeForest. And wait, where are you? Yes, we are absolutely taking questions. We've got 7 so far, and we can usually manage 12 or so. Viviani, there's a question for you.
Oh, really? Okay.
And here's a question from Carl.
Mhm. Oh,
And
okay. No, I'm not French, but I studied French in college. I love French, so
And in French, her name would be pronounced Viviane. So
yeah, yeah. So, but yeah, I'm not French. No French in my family. So I think let me mention we have so far we have 8 questions here. Let's
we just
see.
we just have 9.
Oh, 9. Yeah.
Oh, 10.
Okay. Okay. So
And Diana Carl says Sunday there or Monday midnight here will be okay.
Okay, I got to figure
So
out the time
you
difference,
guys
but
will have to email each other and narrow that down. So
so you're 12 hours ahead of me, right? So it's 5 a.m. where you are on Wednesday, and it's 5 p.m. where I am on Tuesday. Do I have that right? So I can send you a Zoom link.
he says, I think.
Okay.
So you know what I've done? I've set up the Zoom for an hour, like for like a 3 hour window.
Well, yeah, I'm sure we'll be on there for 3 hours because I'm doing an astrology chart, Akashic combination for him. And Hypnicity won a reading from me on Juno's show. So when she unveiled, and so she and I have to set up a meeting also.
there is a
Once-
question.
Um,
Linda,
sorry, go ahead.
Teresa's question, Teresa Levine's question is a general question for us regarding the Akashic Records. She's asking, do you have to go into the Akashic Records to release generational abuse?
Did you start that? Because I'm in chat still. I'm not in the. Yeah, go
No,
ahead.
I am. We don't need to get into. I mean, we can just answer that now, so I can unstart that.
Yeah,
That's
go
what I'm
ahead.
saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
And we can all give our answers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
Here's a question from Rossi that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, we can actually access the Akashic Records for ancestral healing. So I guess that's what she's asking. So
Yeah.
that's the answer to that is yes.
Yeah. And thank you, T-Lyn. She says that she saw my short on how to ask what questions to ask the Akashic Records, and it really helped. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. It's always good to know.
And I have a comment about Lias is asking, may I ask what the records say about getting married again? That is a free will action. Whether you want to whether you wish to get married again or not, wouldn't it be?
Part of it is okay. And here's a T-Lyn. Your question is the sort of along the same kind of lines. At 208 or at 08, Viviani, 508 for you. Okay, so there's when we are between lives, so the end of one life, the beginning of the next, we are working out what experiences we need to advance our spiritual development. What kind of and we enter into soul contracts, not just for our own selves, but also who's going to be our parents, who's going to be our siblings, who are going to be the important sort of mentors, the important kind of touchstones in our lives, our spouses, our children, our teachers, our companions, our workmates, people who have an impact on us. Those are all part of our soul family, and we generally travel in groups of like, I don't know, 40 to 100 and some odd people. I'm not really sure how big. and people come in and leave, of course, because we're not all reincarnating at the same time. But we have contracts with who's going to be our mother and who's going to be our father and what their role in our lives is going to be and how they're going to teach us and what they're going to teach us. And sometimes those contracts kind of go sideways. Sometimes things happen that were unpredicted, and also because of free will, because along with the contracts, we have free will. And we can choose not to be kind and gentle to our children, right? And go ahead, Diana.
Ron's thought here on renegotiation.
Saw that. Yeah.
That is, contracts are renegotiated all the time. Contracts are fulfilled. End of contract, contract fulfilled. Done. We're out of here. We can separate now. Such as the case with my husband. We divorced. End of that contract.
Yeah.
It wasn't the end of my soul contract with him, because that familiar sense goes back many generations. He and I, have had many contracts together. And I'm sure we'll have more in the future. Not soon, because I ain't going. But the contract wasn't null and void until his passing. And then he was able to, he's at the point now where he is ascending and crossing over and is understanding what it is to be human more than he did while he was human. Does that make sense? But my contract with him, as far as being his wife, was over with. But I was still his spouse, because that contract was of the soul. If you get my drift. It's deeper meaning. It's family. It's I could no more abandon my baby brother than I could him in his hours of need. I had nothing to do with him until he was needy. And then when he did, I came forward, of course. Because that's my soul's contract with this life in general.
So we've got 14 questions. There's so much more to say about that particular topic. And we actually should probably do a show where we don't answer any questions.
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Well, we can answer topic questions.
Yeah.
Personal questions.
Yeah.
But anyway, so 14 questions. I think, I don't know how you guys are doing for time, but I've got like nothing else to do. So I'm thinking that Janet DC's question is going to be the last one. And I know that for everybody has a different. Okay, we've all got the same path in the same purpose, in the sense that our purpose is to love, okay, and to be in love. And I saw something that said that love wasn't a feeling, it was an action. It was a state of being. I thought that was amazing. So to be in love and to exist in love is our purpose, generally, as human beings. We have our own individual kind of missions, and those are things that we have to discover. So often I find, in my experience, that when people ask, what is my purpose? The masters don't want to tell me. They say, your job is to find your purpose. Like, that's part of your job as a human being. It's part of your job as growth and development. And some of us are healers, and some of us are teachers, and some of us are, artists and dancers and musicians and so on. So your job is to follow, like, as a human, for everybody, our job is to follow the breadcrumbs of joy and doing things, and see where those lead us. They will lead us closer and closer to what we're supposed to be doing. So if it makes you happy to dance, then dance and do all the dancing you possibly can do. And that will lead you into bigger and more, I don't want to say better, but more targeted, more soul targeted things, right? When you follow what you love. Leah says, do we all have a symbol in a song unique to our soul? I have no idea.
I don't
Randy
know.
I've never heard that before. Make it up.
There are,
Yourself.
Well,
by
that's
the way, Paul has a question, but that is a mediumship question, Paul. He's asking about, let me see.
Yeah.
That is not an Akashic record question. There are questions that are more like mediumship type questions. Others are psychic reading questions. And then the questions that we can help you reading
I
the
love
Akashic
that.
records.
Leah says, fly by the seat of your soul. Oh my God, I love that so much.
well.
And
If
Harley,
there's time, I can take the mediumship question if there's time.
Okay.
okay, so we'll just leave that for the end and see. And Harley says, but Linda, then what happens with people who are sick of other people's behaviors and don't want to love? Well, being sick of somebody else's behavior doesn't mean you don't exist in love. It means that you exist in love of yourself, and the unwillingness of yourself to be
Doormat.
used.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, to be abused,
Yeah.
or to be a doormat, or to be the means of someone else's okay, this is the wrong word, someone else's self-gratification at your expense. Let's put it that way.
And
Power trip.
you still choose to love whether other people act badly or not. You can still be your loving self, and you set boundaries for those around you.
Setting boundaries is a really important
Yeah.
expression of love for yourself.
You don't have to love face to face. You can love at a distance. You can distance yourself from a person, and
I
still
love
be in the space
humanity.
of
It's
love.
people I can't
And
stand.
those that are maybe not, they're struggling or, not behaving their best, whatever, send them love. You may not love the way they are acting, but you can send them love and
Yeah.
Peace and
And
love. And
Yeah.
there's nothing you can do about their behavior. They're going to continue to behave until they've completed whatever the lesson is that they are to learn. And then suddenly a cycle will change for them.
Yes.
So it's a deep answer. We have other questions to answer. So I agree. I think we should pick a day and do a show.
Yeah. Okay, we'll talk about it.
And just
lots
have
of warning.
Yes, we should
round
do it
robin
on a different day. One show. I agree, to explain, what the records are and what types of questions and yes,
Someone
both
said,
topics.
hang on a second. Do you guys see? Wait. Let me move it up. Carl, where are you? You just said something really. He says that from what I learned from Sylvia Brown and Susan Lynn, you can't read for yourself if you go to the Hall of Records on the other side. When you open your book, it's blank. That's not true. I can read for myself as much as I want. We all do. We read for each other and we read for ourselves.
Yeah, I do go into my own Akashic records and I ask questions for my own records. Yes.
Yeah.
And it's all changing. It's not that let's say that it's not, that's what works for them. That's the way they see it. That's the way it
Yeah.
happens. But we are in a time of ascension, and this ascension is opening portals that were closed before. Perhaps if you're someone who is just waking up, maybe you can't. But when you reach higher levels, when you are able to stay at least in 4D when everybody around you is in 3D, and it's hard for you to breathe, but you just say, "Spirit, bite my tongue," because I can be as snarky as the next guy. But when I say, "Spirit, bite my tongue," that's coming from a place where I've seen records. I've seen my own. I do not want to repeat my own history of the past. I don't want to be burned at the stake again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so I know I've learned when to bite my tongue and when to let it fly.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to close questions now. We've got 18 questions. And and just to let y'all know,
I like that, Ness.
The Val, Dragonfly Crystals Val, is doing a course with Allie on psychic mediumship. It's a 3-week course. You can you can go to her channel, and in her description is the link to her website where you can, I think her website is dragonflycrystal.store, and you can register for the class there. Anyway, I highly recommend any and all of her courses. She's doing another Akashic Records course in July. Yeah.
Yes.
So let's get started. And here we go. Let's start with hypnicities.
Oh, we need to open the records.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Protection prayer.
This is what happens when I get distracted, right?
Yeah, this is why we need a question and answer show, because see, folks, we're already in there.
Yeah.
But we got to open them for you so that we can get into yours.
Yeah.
Though.
And also because it's a nice thing to do to bring all of our energies together. We are surrounded by the pure white light of divine source. We ask Archangel Michael to protect and guide us, and we call forth all of our angels, guides, beings of light, and Akashic Records masters to assist us now to receive information of the highest truth, highest frequency of light and love, allowing us to receive exactly what we need for our greatest good and the greatest good of humanity. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We open ourselves to the light, and with this light, we open ourselves to our truth. And with this light, we open ourselves to our soul's purpose. And with this light, we open ourselves to be guided towards our highest good and the highest good of all in divine love. And so the group of people here, those who will join us later, and those who will watch in the future, are given the truth to best serve them on their healing journey into the love and acceptance that is most beneficial for them in this moment. I'm going to read silently. And with this light and guidance, we unlock the energy field of this group to receive the records of their souls. Please don't let me forget to close the records after. Because I'll do it at supper time, and you guys will be wondering. I'll suddenly remember. I'll go for a nap and remember. Oh my God. Okay, hypnicity. We're ready to answer. You want to go ahead with that one, Viviani?
Yes. Okay. Where am I? Yes. Okay. So, Hi, Hypnicity. Okay, I had a memory pop up from when I was 3. Remembered my dad in tears as he watched JFK's funeral. I thought I made my dad cry. Okay. Does my dad Fred have a message for me since this revelation? I can interpret this as a mediumship question.
Yeah.
I got a hit.
Okay, go
Okay.
ahead.
Fred said, "Oh, you poor kid."
Okay.
No, you didn't make me cry. It was a hard day for all of us.
Mm-hmm.
Many men cried that day because for the first time we saw someone of our generation who had gone through the things we had gone through. Nah, you didn't make me cry.
Good. That's great. Thank you.
Okay, Hypnicity. I hope that helps.
Mm-hmm.
Next, we have Barbara Nesper.
Do you want me to answer this one?
Yeah, go
Or-
ahead.
Okay. Hi, Barbara. Do you see peaceful times? I will ask, but this is a future question about the future
Yeah.
3 months. What can the Akashic Records Masters tell her about
The next 3 months.
next 3 months?
Is it going to be peaceful? Is it going to be?
Mm-hmm.
It's just rain, you guys.
I love that, Diana.
The first thing that I got, Barbara, is always well and always going according to plan, as planned.
Sit. Sit. Sit.
And then I heard again, always well according to plan, and they added, be present in the now. In other words, it's all about the now. I hope that helps, Barbara. If you ladies have anything else to add, go ahead. Um, well, this is all I got.
Barbara, peace is in your heart. It's not around you. It's something that part of what mm, your lessons your lesson is to be at peace within yourself, and learn that and be that, embody that, and get that peace from within. And then you don't, then it doesn't matter. You could be in the middle of a war zone. Well, okay, maybe not, but you know what I mean. Yeah. Use this as a way to uh, jumpstart your search for peace within, for creating, not a search for, but creating peace within your heart. Diana, do you have anything you want to say?
I see that there is a positive change coming. So I would assume there's no assumption. Peacefulness is a part of this positive change coming.
Okay.
I have a shaking dog because it's thundering. So
Oh, okay.
I kind of was
So cute.
in another
Look
spot.
at your face.
Look at that face. Oh, kissy
Adorable.
pie.
Yeah, now she's happy. She's looking at herself.
Oh,
This is
aren't
Gloria.
I?
And
Okay.
when I got her, she told me what her name was. I mean, she screamed it in my ear. Well, it's Gloria, you know. And I think she was a horse before she became a dog.
Mhm.
I just want to go through the list of people that we have. Next, we have Chris Cassidy, and then Simply Julie, and then Dakota Kelt. Wait a second while I get this to go down further. Rhonda Forrest, Carl Hees, Sue Toffee, Rossi, Randy, Harley, Tainita, Teelin. Oh, here's another one from Chris Cassidy. So I guess that's the one we're going to do next. Or if you can tell us in the chat, because I've got two questions for you here. The second question I have is my father didn't raise me. I only met him once. Why did I have his kind of relationship and how did he feel about it? Okay, anyway, so that's Chris Cassidy. After that is Janet DC, Leah, and Teresa Levine, and that's it. 15 starred questions. So Teresa's reading will be last, and next we have Chris Cassidy. So Chris, if you could just let us know which of these questions you would like us to answer. Oh, you thought your first question might be too broad. No, you might not like the answer to your first question, because when you let the Akashic Records masters just tell me what you want to tell me, it's some, okay, so maybe it's just me, but sometimes it's not something I really want to hear. It's not necessarily one of those, oh, you're wonderful, we love you so much. It can be can be a little more direct. So no, you get to pick which one you want, because we can do both. Annie Bear's here. Hi, Annie Bear. Let's see. I'm still wait. I don't see anything from you, Chris. Oh, he wants to know about his father, or she. Sorry. Okay, so I will unstar this and go down to this one. Okay. I forgot whose turn it is.
It's yours now.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
My father didn't raise me. I only met him once. Why did I have this kind of relationship, and how did he feel about it? Well, this was an agreement. This was what you guys agreed to, and the reason for it was to. Well, there was many reasons for it. Some of it had to do with male validation and the search for male validation, or validation from males, because daddy, right? Some of it had to do with self-reliance and development and self-discipline, developing self-discipline. Some of it, but you, there were a lot of spiritual and personal development, I guess, reasons why you chose that path in this lifetime, why you chose that element, I guess is a better word, in this lifetime. And he agreed.
Um,
Go ahead.
in the most recent past life, with the two of you together, you were the parent who abandoned him. And this was a role reversal so that you both understand the dynamic of the opposite position. It wasn't anything in particular, but it was what he thought he could not measure up to, which is exactly why you abandoned that whole parental scenario when you were the parent of his persona. End of transmission.
Whoa. Okay.
So, okay.
I'm not getting anything else. I just hear confirmation of what Diana had to say. So,
Oh, good. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to just butt in there.
no,
But
I'm glad you did. I'm glad you did, because I'm just one person, right? And I read what I read, and it's always really helpful to have other people to confirm and to add more detail. I'm grateful for that. I'm really grateful for that. Next, we have a question for Viviani. I have been working part-time with a nonprofit, and I'm wondering if that's the best place for me based on my skill set. It doesn't pay much. Well, yeah, they never do. Love and thank you.
Hi, Simply Julie.
it's too tight.
Okay, I'll ask the Akashic Masters for a message. They will not tell you what you should do or not do, but because that's a free will choice. But let's see what message they have for you regarding your job and career. Okay. I first heard that based on your skill set and your experience, you can find other opportunities. But don't discount this job as a stepping stone to other opportunities. It's all about making choices and moving forward on your path. Keep your eyes open for opportunities and do what's best for you. It starts with you, is your choice. I hope that helped. I'm not sure that really helped this message, but this is what I got. Simply Julie, thank you for your question. It may not.
Simply Julie and everybody else, the Akashic Records masters are concerned with our spiritual development. They don't care if you're a
Mm-hmm.
ditch digger or a doctor. They don't care how you earn your living. They don't care about any of that. They care only about your spiritual development. And so if this is not meeting your needs, you have free will. You have permission to meet your
Mm-hmm.
needs. You have permission to make enough money to live, and more than enough money to live. You don't need the Akashic Records masters to say, oh yeah, well, yeah, you should change jobs if it's not making enough money, because that's your
Mm-hmm.
free will. You don't need anybody to validate that for you. These are matters that are within your capacity to determine.
Yes, it's your power, and we do have, of course, we have matters in our life that may be lessons or experiences,
Yeah.
but
Well,
um,
is
go ahead.
working
Yeah.
for a nonprofit for less than you need to survive certainly is a spiritual lesson. It
Mm-hmm.
is. It doesn't deny you freedom of choice, and it doesn't deny admitting to yourself that you need more than this in order to survive. But what it is doing for you, as far as understanding the in workings of the less fortunate,
Mm-hmm.
that is part of a spiritual uplifting.
Yeah.
I think that's why
And
they say don't discount this current job as
exactly,
a stepping stone to a
yeah,
better opportunity. I mean, you're
right.
still
So,
learning there.
right, and help you appreciate a greater abundance because you are in a place of lesser abundance.
Mm-hmm.
So many people worldwide live with that,
Yes.
you know.
And many people working jobs that are not necessarily taking advantage of all their skill set, but they love what they do.
Right,
And
calling versus
yes.
career.
Mm-hmm.
There are times when they can both be the same thing. And
Yeah.
if you are not hurting financially while you're doing this, take advantage of the moment for what it is doing for you and your soul and your spiritual essence. I
Yeah.
love that question. Hypnicity says, does it give you joy? Right.
Yeah.
Yes. That's very
Yeah.
important to all of us and for our spiritual growth, to do what we love, to
To
give
find
and
joy in
receive
what we
love,
love. Yeah.
joy, giving, receive love, self-care, and and it, what you're doing, even though you may be thinking, well, it's not, I'm not using my skill set and I'm not getting
You know?
paid well, but it's still, uh, it doesn't mean that you're not on the right path.
Mhm.
um, so I hope that helped. Simply Julian, I wish you the best and thank you so much for your question.
Uh, Next for Diana.
Hi,
We have
Dakota.
Dakota Celt.
Question. I've always had a strange connection to Brian, May of the Queen. Do I have a past connection with him? To Brian. Well, I'm seeing Cernunnos. And Doggus. This is something goes back to ancient times, of course. Seeing a sacred well. They're showing me a scene right out of the Maeve Chronicles, out of Bright Madonna, the first book. And so it goes way back to those days of ritual. Yes. Yes. Wow. And he was a bard, a musician way back then as well as today. Lover, confidant. It's showing me a book with something that you both were keeping track of together. In this book, you must have been scribing for him as well at the time. And vice versa. You added to his lyrics, his poetry. Is the wild hair days. Headbanging, even back then. He says headbanging even back then. So yes, I hope that helps. I hope it resonates.
Hypnicity says he has the PhD in astrophysics.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And apparently
cool.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And we have a lot of lively chat about, people having made their soul contracts when they hadn't had their coffee or when they'd had too much or
Oh yeah, sometimes I think about what did I agree to?
what the hell was I?
I'm scared about asking some questions because I'm like, I don't even want to know. It's just going to stress me out even more. I don't want to know.
Okay, so yeah, that was interesting. Next, we have Carl Hees, and I guess this is my question. Hi, Carl.
Hi, Carl.
I've just met the guy who's going to pay us for the job next week. He's a powerful man, even more than the president. Oh, okay. Well, that's scary. I wonder who he was in past life. Well, you got a hit, don't you, Diana?
I do.
Go ahead.
Okay. He was your father, and he was extremely stern. And you were not in Manila. This was somewhere else. And I want to say it's Germany. I'm looking at you in Germany in the times of Ferdinand, the shot that was heard around the world. And so he was a very stern military father. But do not live in fear of him now. Do not live in fear of him now. He is here now to make up for something. That's really all I'm getting on this at this time. Linda, back to you.
Karma balance there. Oh, that's good to know. That
I got nothing to add to that.
He
I've
kind
got
of scares, of course.
I got big chills of
Yeah.
confirmation for what Diana said. You've been with this. You and this guy have your two souls have been going round and around together for a long time, and you have long association. Let's put it that way. Long associations, teacher, student, parent, child. I'm not seeing spouses, but that's not off the table because I'm just doing a quick look. Um, Lots of teacher-student relationship. Mostly, it seems to be that and parent-child. I see a couple sibling, or maybe spouses. I see a couple sibling for sure. Um, so it's he's part of your soul family, and yeah, he's a scary guy. But he has a soft spot for you, and he will help you if he can. However, write a contract, go over the contract with your lawyer, make sure that don't be stupid about it. Okay. It's a contract, and so treat it like a contract. This job that you're going to be doing next week, look over the contract and make sure that it is okay on every level. Just because he has a soft spot for you doesn't mean he's not a hard-ass businessman, because
Right.
he is.
And what I was just reading, his financier controls the economy, who's running the country. He's a real mofo, but he's calm when he talks and very meaningful, measured. He wants to get it right, and he wants to make sure everybody understands. So there's no miscommunication, so mistakes are avoided. And I like that he looks you straight in the eye, but he's not looking straight, or he's not looking because he's listening to his guides on how to communicate with you, or maybe he's translating something in his head.
Yeah.
Before he's taking the words out.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that's
and maybe, I just got this other hit that he is beginning to recognize you in another way, in this past field. So don't be shocked if he says, I think I know you. Have we met before?
And of course, not everybody have that
and he's a
belief
lawyer
of past lives and all that kind of stuff. But you get that feeling, I know you from somewhere. I'm sure you look so familiar, and you just feel like I know you. But not everybody have that. Okay, I believe in past lives or future lives or whatever.
His word is his contract. There's no paper. So the paperless contract means these are my words. My word is my word is my contract. Trust me, I'm not going to dick you around. No offense for what I just but once a biker, always a biker.
Yeah.
I think this is a good one, Carl. I think this might be the one you've been waiting for.
Yeah. 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 I don't sense anything negative about it. Just be careful and make sure that you do everything that you're supposed to do.
And keep your thoughts positive, and just, it's good that you have that extra awareness of that relationship now. They help you
and stay in your own power. Believe in yourself.
Yeah.
No, you can do this. This is your calling. This is your job. You love to do this. You're a ground watcher. You're a hunter. You're a treasure hunter, and you love to do this. And you trust your instinct.
Tell them to like, share, and subscribe.
And hit the notification bell.
Help us.
I like that too.
Sorry.
Oh no, that's hilarious. Okay, whose turn is it now? Stop distracting me, you guys.
Not a clue.
I think it's me. It's me now, because you got Carl's question, and then
and then we all jumped in on it.
And then Yeah.
Yeah.
Diana got the hit. Okay, so okay. Hi, Sue Toffee. Will our cats find and be approved for a small new home before they must vacate? Okay. Ooh, all right. Yeah, moving with pets is tricky. I know. I know.
Moving with parrots is even trickier. Oh.
Boy, yeah.
And yes, Her Royal Highness, my avian overlord, is indeed with us. She just doesn't want to sit on my shoulder today. She's on my knee. I don't know if you can maybe see her. Yeah, she's on my knee eating almonds. Yeah, you're eating almonds? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. See?
I heard keep looking, don't despair. I don't know if you ladies got anything else, but I know it is hard not to be stressed in a situation like that. Um,
I was seeing a small house. I was just being given a vision of a house with the cats around it. So I'm going to say yes.
mhm.
I don't know if it's the same one that you're looking at, but I did see a smaller home, and it didn't have any extreme paint, distinctive paint. It was like, you know, like one of those small houses that you see on wheels that are made of wood and just stained natural. It was like that, like plain, simple, and to the point. But there were cats around it, and it was parked.
Mhm. Yeah. And asking for a most benevolent outcome if you're not doing that already helps tremendously. Um, yeah. So this is like I didn't get any visual this time, but I just got those words. I really wish you the best, and I hope that helps. Keep us posted. I have 4 cats. I don't know how many cats you have, but even with 1 or 2, it's sometimes is um, hard to find. And then when you do find a place, you have to pay the monthly pet fee, which is per animal. Yeah, it's tough. But good luck, Sutafi. We wish you the best, and thank you for your question.
Thanks, Sue, and best of luck to you. Uh, next for Diane. Oh, no, no, that was wrong. Next for Diana, I have Rossi.
Oh, let me read. I was just out there thinking. I don't even know what I was thinking about. Rossi, this has got to be for you. What am I doing at night while I sleep? What am I doing with my hands? You are coding. You
Yeah,
are coding. You are a light code worker.
I got the same thing. Light codes.
You know, you're putting them into the grid work. You see the grids, right? We both see these grids. You, as Kelly Healer, Kelly Healer is a
So
coder. So are you.
sorry.
Your ability with your hands, including your Reiki knowledge, but we are, everything's changing. Reiki is a light language. Reiki is a light healing. It's an energy. All energy has light. All energy has frequency and sound and numerology applied to it. And as you put these in, whomever you are sending this message to, which it has been to me, right? We've crossed in a dream. And in that dream, Callie Healer was with us. And when you're putting them in, if it is a healing code for somebody, that is the frequency that needs to heal the part of the body that is in distress, the part of the emotion that is in decline. And so when you are doing this with your hands and you are aware of it, you are plugging that code in to send someone on a mission. The instructions for the soul that is doing the astral traveling. End of transmission.
And for what it's worth, Rossi, I had an immediate hit that yes, that those were light codes. That's what you're doing. So
You're right. I could hear you clicking at the same time there.
Yeah.
Mary.
Big Sister Mary to you. Big confirmation there. I hope that helps, Rossi. Next,
I'm covered in chills. I loved it.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. It was very cool. Very cool. Okay. Randy wants to know, who were you in your immediate past life and what lesson did you not learn? Okay, so again, we're going to do a little bit of theory here. There's no such thing as lessons you don't learn. You progress, like learning to love and learning to be in love is an eternal lesson. This is something that we start when we're brand new souls, and every incarnation we undergo, we learn a new aspect, a different aspect. We go deeper into it. We explore it further. So it's not like Math 101 where you write it, you pass the exam, you go on to Math 102 or 201 or whatever it is. Anyway, it doesn't work like, these aren't those kinds of lessons. These are lessons in being. And so there's no end to being, and so there's no end to the lessons. I mean, even the Akashic Records Masters are learning lessons, okay? It's not like it's confined to us here. Our guides are learning lessons. As part of guiding us, they are learning lessons. So that's a perspective for you. About there's no such thing as a lesson you didn't learn, okay?
Right.
That doesn't exist. That's not possible. Also, I asked Leah. Leah had two questions, Viviani. If you're keeping an eye on chat, if you could just, I asked her to choose which one she wanted answered. So if you could please keep an eye on chat. So who were you? Okay, let's find out. And also, I can only tell you what I get, and what I get may not be your immediate past life. So if you go to another reader and say, what was my immediate past life, you might get a different answer. This is just what they're telling me.
Because it's not linear. We are thinking of it as linear, and it is not.
It's not linear.
We can choose time frame, wherever time frame we want to go to. It's a pie.
And not just is it not linear, if the Akashic Records Masters think that there is something more important for you to know about some other life, that they think there's something there that you should know now, that's what they'll show me. That happens so often to me, and I'm sure to you guys too, to other readers as well. It's not like, oh yeah, they want to know about their but that doesn't have the lesson, doesn't have the message we want them to have. So we're going to show them this other life. So just be aware, this may not be an immediate past life. It will be a significant life with something for you, some message for you within it. Okay. So shut up, Linda. Seeing like a whirl of slides, like thumbnails for different lives, just whirling in front of me, and there's quite a few of them, and so a desert, and I think those are okay, I thought those were mountains. They're not. They're pyramids. So Egypt. Egypt. Yeah, this is absolutely not. Well, okay, maybe it is. I don't know. But it's a long time ago, Egypt. People are in robes and sandals and dressed like you see on Egyptian art from the pyramids. Skirts and men in skirts, and you're an artisan. You are an artist, and your job. You are living in that. I forget that. Did I ever even know the name? I don't know the name of the village that was the artisans' village, the workers' village, close to the close to where the close to where they're constructing temples and pyramids, and your job is painting. You and a whole bunch of other artists, your jobs are to paint the Book of the Dead and other texts and stories and images onto the walls in these. And you don't just work in the pyramids, inside the tombs themselves, painting them. You also do work painting in temples and so on. You are very well known. And do you paint now? Like, is this something, because you were very skilled, and you're yeah, you were very skilled. Your use of color. And you were devoted. You were I feel a little dizzy. You were devoted to the work that you did. You were devoted to the gods, and you believed that what you were doing was magical and holy and connected to the divine. And you were basically in a trance the whole time you did it. I don't mean like a trance, like you were in a sacred space in your mind, in your being, while you were painting these, because that's what gave them power. So you were kind of a magician at the same time. It's one of the reasons that your work was so highly valued, is because of that. Sorry, go ahead, Diana.
Well, because I have to bring this up because of what you just got. So Rossi and I planned a meetup dream. In fact, we all did last week on the dream.
You mean Randy?
Week before? No, Rossi and I. Now,
Oh,
Rossi
okay.
and Randy are having a conversation in the chat. And
Oh,
Randy had said something about being together with Rossi in Egypt. Is that right? But when you started saying that, that's like I saw Rossi and I there 3 different lifetimes. One was through the portal, getting there, arriving there. And then Rossi was sitting on the floor in front of a crystal glass wall. And next to it was a wall filled with hieroglyphs. And though I didn't paint it into the dream, into the journal, there was someone there who had been putting these on. That could very well have been Randy. And that brings us back to Randy and Rossi having been together in a past lifetime. Now, that was the beginning of this sequence with Rossi and I. And then the next time, she and I were in Jodhpurs in the 1920s, 30s, excavating, and I was piling up bricks or moving them, and she was dusting and digging. And we were in a newspaper, and there was a photograph of her and I in these Jodhpurs. And then there was a third sequence, and then the last thing was through the portal, they sent me back home, and I woke up for the day. So what those two were kind of joking about in the chat might very well have been a reality, and that was in the dream meetup sequence that I had with Rossi.
hi, Groucho.
You hear her? she's in the office. To get here, you have to go through the TV room and the kitchen and into the dining room.
You can hear Wanda from outside. I know because I hear her when I take out the garbage. So, but if I don't complain about my neighbor's baby, then yeah, I hope that helps, Randy, because
yeah,
that was a really really powerful. And can I suggest that you start working with that ability that you have? And I don't know, take some courses, whatever you need to do, because that was a really unusual and powerful way of manifesting. Was what you were doing with those paintings and imbuing them with the sacred and with magic. Well, what we would call magic. Yeah, crazy bird lady, that's me, Leah.
So I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but this is from the dream sequence. You can't see it very well because I didn't I usually go back in and shade everything so it stands out. But that was the dream journal entry. There was this portal, there was the newspaper, there was the excavating going on. Then there was the hieroglyphs on the wall with the Ankh and the jinn, which means this is the spell work that you have to say. These are the lessons that you say. And then the third part 3 was them throwing me back through the portal and sending me home. So if you want
Diana,
from last week, it's the picture is in there from last week.
That's like so much magic right there. The synchronicity, that's so much magic. Can I suggest that you upload that to your iPad so you can share screen?
I don't know if I can do that because don't forget I'm on this app is limited.
Oh yeah, right. Okay, forget I ever said that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's already the picture is already in my file on my iPad, but getting it to you so you can put it up is the whole thing. And that's too much complication right now.
So Randy, my wild guess is that past life was shown to you as a reminder to remind you of the magic within you. That's just my guess. You'll have to come to your own, like, you'll have to meditate on it or think about it, whatever, process it for your own self and decide for yourself. But that's just what comes to me. Wow. Well, that was fun. I love looking at past lives. I'm so nosy.
Well,
Okay.
especially when I have things like this come into play here, welcome to Egypt, sister. Maybe we knew each other in one of my Egyptian lives. Yeah, for sure.
Viviani, you're next with a question from Harley.
Hi, Harley. Okay, did I send myself any messages in past lives that I was to remember in my present life that would be of help here and now in any area of my life? Wow, it sounds
It's so weird.
Actually, this question again.
Great. I love this question.
Oh, I'm going to amaze me.
It hits the red zone on the weirdo meter. I love it.
I feel like I'm going to amaze just by reading the question.
Music goes in here, whoa, 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 when it comes out.
What a trip this is. Okay. All right. So
hi, Martha Bean.
Past lives that I was to remember in my present life.
She wants to know if her past self, self in her past life, sent any messages for her in this life.
It's an interesting question. In one of my, in the Akashic records, when you were doing a healing, you're able to access a past life that needs healing, and you can kind of like your future self, kind of like meeting your past self, and you do that communication via healing. But this is the opposite. All right, let's see. I hope that I may need your help, ladies, because I'm going to read the question again and I want to see what I can get. Okay, I got 3 words: dreams, senses, and visions. So, which, I mean, it makes sense to me because your dreams, we have that connection through our dreams. What did I say? Dreams, senses, and visions. Okay, dreams, senses, and visions.
Did I say, girl, you better remember this or remember to
not to?
Or wouldn't that be part of like a deja vu moment?
Yeah, it's also like they're showing me something else that they had shown me in a dream, astral travel, which we all have this glass case that is suspended from somewhere, and in there is our Book of the Dead. You don't remember it now. When you cross back into that realm on your own, you can pull your Book of the Dead out and read it. The Egyptian Book of the Dead is the history of the person's life. And we keep adding to that through each lifetime that we go. We are creating our own Book of the Dead.
Mm-hmm.
And so what you don't remember now is not a problem, because in the dream state, you may remember it. And then you have the deja vu.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get the whole message. When that feeling comes, it's like that moment is the impact that words can't say. It's the feeling, it's the frequency, it's the numerology, it's the car moving or not moving. It's it's that state of flux. The flux capacitor. Oh, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Back to the Future.
Well, and the other thing that occurs to me is that
It's okay, baby.
cool. Is that's your storm, Diana? Because
Yeah, I've had hail, rain.
I've heard the rain, and I love the sound of the rain falling. It really relaxes. I'm just really enjoying that. But I mean, I'm not sitting here undergoing it. Um, the other thing that occurs to me about messages in past lives is your soul. Your soul was there. Your soul remembers. Your soul is here now too. So the deeper connection you can have with your soul, and which through dreams and visions and senses, that's where you're going to remember the messages that you get. You know, that's very cool. That was a very cool.
Yeah, it was a good question, and it
Very,
is yeah, just like you say, yeah, your soul knows, your soul remembers, and that's why it's so important for us to be that's why it's so important for us to have that the quiet time and the time that you're
to meditate and to just be still
to
with
really
yourself.
go inwards and to really do that work, because that will help you so much to open up and receive more signs and more information, and through your senses, and whether it's through your dreams, senses, or visions, and to be more receptive and listen and understand.
Yeah.
So I hope that helped. Thank you so much for your question, Harley.
Yeah, that was amazing, Harley. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I love the weird questions. Okay. Next we have Tainita or Tainita, and I apologize for butchering your name. And that's for you, Diana.
Okay. I would like to understand, what was my relationship with my boyfriend that passed in the Akashic record, and perhaps why did I have to go through what he did to me in this life? Strange as it may seem, again, we have the situation of a role reversal in this life. In a past life, you were the aggressor. In that past life, when you were the aggressor, the pain, the dis-ease, the discomfort that you put upon others is what you came here to experience this time. Fear not. You have learned from what you went through with him what it's like. He is now gone. That contract is null and void. Going forward, you choose. Your free will now understands the sympathy it takes to those who cannot help themselves because of their narcissistic ways, their egotism, their all those words. Stepping forward, choose better companions. Do not give your love gingerly, the commitment of love. Sending love, brotherly love, is one thing. You can do that from a distance. The commitment of treasured love does not mean you have to take abuse. End of transmission.
Yeah. Hey, Nina, I just get that you're free now, and you're free to choose, and you're free to make different choices. From what you've learned. Okay, I've lost track of whose turn it is again. I'm so out of it today.
It's yours, baby.
Is
I
it
think
mine?
it's you now. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Okay. So then we have T. Lynn next. She wants to ask the Akashic Records the purpose of, okay. All right. So the purpose of your life path is not anything to do with material stuff, okay? So thinking of it as your life path being either prosperous or struggling, you're missing the point. Okay, let me just tune in here and your life path isn't necessarily reflected in the world around you. It isn't necessarily reflected in how easy or how difficult your life is. Your soul's desire, your soul's compass points in a certain direction. And even if you are perfectly aligned with your soul's purpose, does not remove the possibilities of economic disasters, natural disasters, just the vagaries of random stuff happening to you, and other people's free wills having an impact on you as well. The spiritual lesson is maintaining love and balance within yourself, no matter what your circumstances are. So finding gratitude and contentment, no matter your circumstances, because I mean, if any of you are familiar with the tarot, the Wheel of Fortune, it spins, right? Sometimes you're up and sometimes you're down. And that's just life. That's just how life is. I know that when we look at other people's lives from the outside, it may all look perfect and lace curtains and hunky-dory and everything else, but you don't know what goes on behind closed doors. You don't know what goes on in those people's hearts. So stop comparing yourself to them.
Mm-hmm.
Your purpose is something that you have to discover for yourself. As we say time and time again, you have to discover it for yourself by following what gives you joy, what makes you feel wonderful, what makes you feel loved and valued, and as it gives you something of love and value to contribute to the community around you. Your community can be your animals, it can be your family, it can be your neighborhood, it can be whatever. But that's how you find out what your path is by following joy, following love, doing like, oh gee, somebody's starting a choir, that sounds like fun, do it. If it sounds like fun, do it. If there's a course in glass blowing, do it. Courses in meditation, take them. Anything that sparks your interest, anything that makes you go, oh well, that sounds like something I could be interested in, take it, do it. There's no like, nobody's keeping score of how many hobbies you have, and if they are, they're wackies. Nobody's keeping track of that. You follow what interests you, follow your urges, and that's how you discover what you're supposed to be doing. It leads, follow the breadcrumbs. It leads you to where you're supposed to be. Because the masters just don't, again and again and again, when I ask the masters about somebody's life path, I say, no, it's your job to figure that out. Like, that's part of your spiritual development, is to figure out what you're supposed to be doing. And the only way to, sorry, Wanda.
Yeah.
The only way to be doing that is to listen to your soul, to listen to your heart.
Remember to ask for help too. Ask your guides
Yes.
for help. I always ask your guides for help. Ask your
Thank
angels
you.
for help, because
Exactly.
if you don't ask, they can't help you. So this is something that I wish I knew years ago about asking. And because I've been through a very tough times too, and I felt like I didn't know what to do, but I wish I knew that I could ask for that kind of help that was available to me. And so yes, ask for help too. That's
Did Ness put in her question? Did you
yes,
see?
and I started her question, and I do have Leah's question too from as she changes her question. Yes, I think Ness's question got deleted because
Yes.
I saw her question earlier, and then it was not in here.
Oh,
So
here it
thank
is.
you.
Okay,
Sorry
I
about
see it.
that. So I guess
Okay.
it's my turn now. Thank you,
Okay.
Tilly, for your question, and good luck with everything. I wish you the best.
Yeah. Can I just say, Harley said something interesting. She says, we don't have to just necessarily sit and chat. We can do it just being peaceful and quiet as we do things. Yeah.
Oh yes.
Mindfulness. You can go running. You can dance. There's, there's all kinds of ways to be in touch with your spirit, and they're
Yes.
not necessarily sitting there and chanting om. They can be playing. Oh, when I used to play piano when I was a kid, that took me there all the time.
You be in the
um
zone. Is whatever you do when you're doing something that you love. You can go for a walk, or you can be taking a
yeah,
bath, or you can be
singing,
reading a book,
cooking.
or sitting by the
Yep.
fire, cooking. Yeah, whatever it is. If it is something creative,
Yeah,
or just like having quiet time,
yeah,
that's when you strengthen that connection, and you're also grounding your energy too when you're outside and all that. But asking for questions, that's something that it's more active. Like, you do ask. I do it as I'm having a conversation with a friend, and just as simple
yeah,
as that.
yeah. Ask your guides for help. They're there. That's what they're there for. Ask them for help.
Yes.
So
That's for me. I guess it's my turn now. Hi, Janet. Okay.
and hi, Jackie Jacaranda.
Yes. Hi, Jackie.
I saw you slip in there.
I'm having a hard time. Okay, family housing. What do the records have to say? They'll help guide and encourage me. Thank you and blessings. Okay.
It's okay.
first heard keep your head held up and go within. We are here guiding you. And then they say lessons and perhaps tribulations are part of the path. Remember to ask for help. Keep the faith and focus on gratitude. You are loved. You're not alone. Release what does not serve your highest good, including thoughts. Think positive thoughts. And focus on gratitude. The cycle of gratitude will the cycle of gratitude, all that you're grateful for will come back to you. More of it will come back to you. Cycle of gratitude. Gratitude magnifies all the good in your life. And then I heard, we are with you, dear one. I hope that helps. Janet, thank you so much for your question.
Janet, I just want to say, yeah, there is a significant lesson for you, and that is to look out for yourself and your family's well-being 1st and foremost. That comes first. Before anything else. So my sense is that you will move as soon as you possibly can. And good luck to you, Janet. That's a very it's a very difficult situation to be in. And next for Diana, we have. Oh, is this the one that we were gonna discuss at the end? Should I go on to the next one?
Do you have to go? Yeah, this was the one we were going to talk about.
Yeah, go ahead,
Okay.
whatever you prefer.
What? Yeah. How many more questions are there?
Well,
Um,
we did
3.
Leah. We have only 2. We have one. We have one from Leah. Has she said which one she wants answered?
Yes, it is about a home, and then we have Nessa's question.
Yes.
Okay, so
Okay.
let's do the questions first, and then we'll come back to this because everybody in the
Yes.
chat probably can benefit and come in on it.
And
Too.
if Paul's still
Yes.
here, we said that there was a question. There was
a mediumship question.
yeah. If Paul, if you're still here, please retype your question about the message you wanted. I believe it was from your mother because I missed that comment. I tried to catch it again.
Yeah,
And then
I'm trying, and I've lost Teresa's comment, and so as soon as I put someone else's up,
yeah.
is gonna disappear. So Teresa, if you could retype that. Wait, no, never mind. I'll retype it. Never mind, Teresa.
Maybe okay. Maybe we can. So yeah, Nessa's question and Leah's question, and then this is the other question. Okay.
Okay.
Whose turn is now?
I think it's Diana's.
Okay.
And just a second, I'm just.
What do the records say about what will happen to Heidi after I confront her later this year? She did a great harm to me, and it took a while to gather the courage to confront her. And I also saw that you had to discuss this with the therapist as well. So let's see. Well, her mouth is going to drop open because she doesn't understand she's a bully. They're showing me diamond shapes that it's like her grid work was off. There was someone bullying her, and she in turn just took the dagger and bullied the next person and everybody around her because of the diamond shape they're showing. Like there's prongs at each end. Not with a barb because she doesn't want to be close to anybody. She doesn't understand that this is something that comes from within her that she has to understand about herself. If you saw the suit that Jackie Kennedy was wearing the day JFK was shot, they are showing me that same suit, which to me it's a Chanel mohair suit.
Oh yeah, I know that one.
The loops, and they're showing me things tangled in the loops, and it's like she doesn't understand. She thinks she's also prim and proper. They're showing me lots of this suit, the pink. She doesn't understand that the wounding that is within her, she's not recognizing. She thinks that's the way you're supposed to be. And I just keep her still stabbing. So until she's able to come to grips and catches something in the loop of her own suit, she's not going to understand. She's going to be shocked. She doesn't know that how she was affecting you. She felt powerful, but she didn't know what she was doing to you. She couldn't have cared less what she was doing to you. I hope that helps. The suit is important because yes, there was JFK's blood splashed on it. And this is really not a reflection of what hypnicity had brought up right when we started this program tonight. But it is that same kind of wounding. There's so much behind the scenes that is not understood to this day of how all of that came about and how crazy this world really is, and how people who are in power like the feeling of being in power, but they don't understand the impact. They really don't. They don't care. They have no concept beyond themselves. Their own little diamond with all these little swords sticking out in prime corners. End of transmission. Chanel pink suit. Yes. Yes, Ness. And you can still find it. There's plenty of photographs. And I'm pretty sure it's in the Smithsonian. I know I've seen it there.
Yeah.
We've got it here in Detroit. We've got the limousine.
Thanks, Diana.
You're welcome.
Next, we have Leah, who wants to know if she will. Is that not the question she wanted?
No, go ahead. Oh. No, I'm sorry. I was saying something to Ness.
Oh, okay. She wants to know if she'll ever get another home. So I'm not sure what exactly you mean by that, Leah. I'm not sure if you mean you'll ever buy another house, or if you are looking for a place to move into, or what exactly you're looking at. But the message from the masters that I'm getting loud and clear is your home is in your heart.
Yes, but who does she think she was? The what's missing here is I was her at the beginning. Who? The landlord?
I was here. I thought it was I was here at the beginning of the show. That's how I interpreted that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah, and she says a house of my own, or even land.
Okay.
Well.
Oh, okay. Yes, Leah. Got it.
A plan. You need a plan before anything can come to fruition. You need to plan this, and you need to work the plan. So you need to get the money together and research where you want to live, and start looking at what's available where you want to live. Maybe make contacts there that can let you know, and I don't know, take a drive around and see what kind of, but you need a plan. There's lots of elements to the plan. There's the getting the money together. There's the looking for where you want to go, where would be ideal for you, and then praying and waiting and asking your guides for help along the way. But I'm getting that this is absolutely within your capacities, absolutely within your sphere of possibilities. If you want it, you can have it, is what I'm hearing. It will require effort, and it will require effort to manifest, because yeah, that's how that stuff always works. And you need to you need to communicate more with your guides. You need to ask them for help, and you need to stay open to their advice, even if it seems counterintuitive. So if they advise you, no, you don't want to live in Arizona, you want to go to Massachusetts. I mean, I'm just pulling that out of my, okay, that's not from the guides. That's just an example that I'm pulling. If they're telling you something, then pay attention to it, because there's a reason for that. I'm getting something in the Pacific Northwest, which is kind of odd. But that I'm looking at a map of the United States, and that area seems warmer to me than the rest for you. A lot of people moving around at this point. A lot of people are going from one place to another. So yeah, I mean, I hope that helps. It was kind of all over the place. I get that. Go ahead.
One thing to add is Leah loves to garden. There's no doubt about it. So while you're looking, is there an abandoned area somewhere that you can just start planting seeds and cultivate them, just making it look nicer, even though somebody owns it, but nobody knows who, and nobody's taking care of it? Or someplace where you can stick containers and just cultivate and work while you are out searching for places to go on your own. You know, you never know how much synchronicity goes into that. When that happens and someone says, oh, you're just the person I need to come and do this. And from there, something greater comes. Like a situation where you live on the land and are farming it.
I came across a group, now that you mentioned this, Diana, I came across a group, I believe it was on Instagram, that, I guess they ride their bikes, and they do that for flowers that are good for the bees, for the, specific for the bees.
Yeah.
You're like gardening.
Well, I'm in the process of, hopefully with the coming of autumn, to start a lavender farm. And then I want to contact my local gatekeeper and see if he wants to come over here and put a hive up and gather lavender honey. Lovely. Now, that doesn't mean it's going to be pure, because I have others. But what happens is bees go to what they like the best, and lavender. So if I had 3 rows with 10 plants, that's 30 lavender plants. So the bees would come to that hive.
Yeah.
And they would go to that plant.
Yeah.
And then, the other ones would go back over to where he lived. And deposit their honey in their own little hive.
Community places in your community too, like in my community here, there's a garden club, and people do that in the facility. Yeah. But there are also parks. The park that is my favorite place to walk. There's a volunteer group that goes there to tend to the flowers. And
yeah, local colleges often have community gardens. Yes. Where you get a plot and you take care of it, and you grow what you want to grow in it. And Leah, I've forgotten where you're living. She just sent me a bunch of seeds, of which they're popping up all over the place. I'm so excited. Can't wait to see the zinnias.
My city has allotments, gardening plots that you can have for $25 a year. And they're in sort of not wasteland, but city land that's like under
Under
that's
siege.
no, it's just not being used for anything, right? And so
Right. Under siege of rack and ruin.
yeah, and like underneath the um
Okay, talk about a deja vu. Not to interrupt you, but this whole thing right now, under siege of rack and ruin. I've said somewhere else to somebody else at another. Well, Sister Mary.
doesn't ring any particular bell. Sorry.
When we were in the convent and we were gardening. You're
About
letting it go to rack and ruin.
I like gardening too. Only I do it on my balcony. Anyway, so if that's something that you're lacking right now, Leah, there's lots of ways to to help that. And yeah, me too. I'd love a field of borage and primrose and lavender.
And that's another. The borage is starting to come up.
Yeah.
The seeds are popping everywhere.
Okay. So I hope that helps, Leah. Yeah, start planning because it's absolutely within your capacity to accomplish. And next we have Teresa Levine, aka Moi, and we want to discuss this.
Yeah.
We did discuss it a little bit at the beginning. Yes, that's true. But I think that it's worth a little more.
You can do generational ancestral lineage healing through your Akashic records.
Yeah.
And release generational abuse. You can.
So ancestral abuse becomes part of our DNA.
Yes.
Yeah.
And, it's just like people who live in cold climates, the Inuit, the Simi, they have a tendency to be robust of build. The Peruvians who live high up in the mountains, they tend to be shorter and robust in order to be able to brave the cold. Doesn't mean that they're out of shape. Doesn't mean that they're suffering in any way. It's what their body needs to be. So that is ancestral DNA. Now you come live out of the mountains or live out of those cold areas. Have you changed the DNA? Nope. You get so many fat cells and you have to work with the fat cells because it's not how many you have, it's the size of them. So you have to understand that. Okay, so that's a simple breakdown of something ancestral. It's in the DNA. Well, abuse can also become ingrained in the DNA. Long line of Polacks here. And how do they talk? They're going to sew your eyes shut. Stop crying. So I'm 4 years old. I don't know what the heck sew my eyes shut means. I'm never going to be able to see again. What are you sewing my eyes shut for? My brother threw the flashlight and it cut me here. But they never told me they got to put stitches on your eyebrow, not sew my eyes shut. So it's the way we talk. It's the gruffness of voice. It's that stern, listen to me, blah, 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 blah. And all of that starts to become part of the DNA. You grow up with it. You don't even know you're doing it. It's inbred. It's just there. Do we need the Akashics to change it? I don't think so. I think it's something that once you are aware of something that everybody around you is doing, everybody that raised you, this is their way. Once you can identify that it's something you don't like, something you don't relate to, and give them their own little ways because they're not going to change. They have to come to their own realization. But that realization is what gives you the power to make those changes in you. Entering the silence. And often what I say is, spirit, bite my tongue. So I don't get snarky. And I'm not kidding. In fact, I was just telling someone else that earlier today because we were having that conversation. And so it's one of those things, you know. It's nice when you know the Akashic that is also connected to that, but it doesn't always show up that way, because when we go into the Akashic, um, you know, we don't always hear, and what we hear doesn't always come through in language we understand. There's a translation that goes on, and even if it's spoken in my native English, it's, am I catching every word? And something fades out, or a noise outside gets really loud and distracts the receptors. So the vibration in my ear that I'm hearing, or in my head, or wherever it's coming through. So it's nice, but I don't think it's the necessary thing. It's awareness. It's your soul. It's your internal awareness of that's not nice.
I think that there's, I agree with you, Diana, 100% about the DNA and about the awareness. I think that generational trauma creates soul wounds.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think that that's what the Akashic records are for.
Right.
That you can go into the Akashic records and heal those soul wounds from generations of trauma and abuse.
Yeah.
And clear it out of your being. That still leaves you with the responsibility of not perpetuating it, of not continuing to treat people that way, to treat children that way, to treat your spouses or your partners in an abusive way. But you're because that's just habit. Okay, that's what you learned, and that's habit, and that's what you go to. That's just, you know, a reflex almost. You know, when a child backtalks you, the reflex to backhand them a good one across the face.
Well,
it's habit. It's learned
Right.
habit. And so that's something you have to get rid of. But
and that's the recognition of it not being nice.
Yes, that's the awareness.
And
That's
then
right.
that begins to tweak the interest in the Akashic. Well, how
Yeah.
long has this been going on?
Yeah.
No, and brings us back to the role reversal in contracts. Like
Yes.
we had 2 of those
Yes.
show up today.
Yeah. That's really important, so that we, as part of our growth as souls, we go through these experiences and learn from them, so as we don't perpetuate them. But sometimes the learning is really harsh, and sometimes we suffer. Our souls suffer greatly in those, and they need healing. And so you don't, well, okay, releasing generational abuse is multi-layered. It has to do with doing your own shadow work, like on your own self here now, your psychological being, your behavior, and your soul. So you don't need the Akashic records to change your behavior. That's something that you should do on your own. You can do on your own.
I'm glad you mentioned layers, because yes, healing is done in layers. There's so many ways. I mean,
it's not just one thing. It's a tool. The Akashic records are a tool that can be used to assist people with that. And listen, when I do Reiki healing now, I use the Akashic records masters as well. So it's not, the Akashic records can be used for lots of different things. Healing is one of them, spiritual healing, but also physical healing. So that's are we done with this?
Well,
we've been on for more than 2 hours, guys.
And how appropriate was it that this clock struck the hour as we went into this?
Yeah.
We do have one question, Linda. I'm sorry, that we can all just comment on.
Yeah. Because
we listed, and I asked him to retype because I saw him question earlier, and somehow it got deleted.
Yeah, we yeah.
Is this the mediumship question?
No,
No,
I asked if Paul is here to retype his mediumship question. I did not get an answer yet.
Okay.
So I don't know. I think he probably stepped away, but this is
yeah.
the yes. I don't know. Ron, you're saying you're having issues to when reading your records. Um, Perhaps you're not. Maybe you need to ground your energy better before you get into the records, or
I'm
that would.
hearing go back to the basics
Mhm.
on this. Uh, and yeah, so Viviani, yeah, that's definitely part of it.
Takes time, and maybe open your records a little bit every day for a few minutes just to get acclaimed to that energy, and just yeah, one day at a time. And because it was like that for me in the beginning, I opened the records a little bit every day, and I did ask questions. I didn't really feel like I was getting any answers, and but it just continue with the process, and then close the records, did a little few more minutes next day,
Yeah,
and then I started reading for other people, feeling a little frustrated, feeling like I couldn't read my own records, but I was able to read for other people. But then, it all um, evolved, and yeah, so it's just but I feel that also grounding your energy before you open the records, do meditating before, and to help me. I don't know if that answers your question, but this is what helped me. Where is that? Looking at the comments. Oh, hi, Pixie. Pixie just came in. We're about to
oh, hi
go.
pixie dust. Yeah, we Pixie says she thought she was going to catch the replay, and she's amazed we're all still on. Yeah, so are we. um
Yeah, I
and
mean, and we still have a lot of folks hanging with us. So
yeah,
Yes, thank you all for sticking around. And um,
yeah.
is that a particular meditation? Um,
well, it's
Are you
sitting in
using
this.
Val's meditation, Ron? Are you using Val's meditation to because Ron took Val's class?
that's what
Um,
I do. Yeah. So perhaps go in, and if you took their class, watch the video of the class again and go to the
yeah,
to the process again. That helped me too, because I was
Uh,
yeah,
being too hard on myself. I think I was. Um,
it's that afternoon nap. It's that I
mhm.
just got to put my feet up for 10 minutes that turns into a nap. But really, there's often a lot of lucid dreaming that goes on during that time.
yeah.
Anyway, the other thing is just entering the silence and letting your body drip and
Mhm.
There you
taking
go.
that deep breath in, holding at the top, and release through the mouth. That begins to slow the heartbeat down, which begins to slow the blood pressure down. And then that gives you that silence.
Mhm.
And when I'm a yoga, it used to be, I don't anymore teach yoga. And one of the things in meditation is a thought comes in and you just go, it's just a thought.
Let it go.
Oh, it's just an itch. It'll go away. You don't move. You don't respond to it. You just, and then you have the thought, oh my God, I'm thinking. Mm,
You
you
know,
know, oh my God, I'm not thinking. you
Yeah.
know, that happens while you're in meditation.
yeah,
But then you suddenly, with that, through the breathing, you find yourself in a position where it's training that. It's
Yeah.
training that breath work that
And
gets you there.
think about the questions that you're asking to. You may not be asking the right questions. You have to know how to formulate the questions. You don't ask
listen.
yes or no questions. Start with questions like what, how, or when, but be specific. And what else? So there was one more thing. And if there are things, if it's something that you really not, it's not time for you to know, then you do not again, you won't hear an answer for that. But I think I have a feeling that you're probably having a hard time because of what's happening before you open the records. Maybe just
Uh-huh.
ground your energy and have quiet mind and get into that meditation and then be
He,
open
he
to receive.
he did say that he has a tendency to overthink things. So
Yeah.
yeah, we all
Yeah.
do that. We just have to set the
So
time aside for that, and then set the
Yeah.
time aside for breathing.
and
Mm-hmm.
also Ron says sometimes I just know stuff. Look, it depends on you on what your strongest clairs are, what you're going to
Mm-hmm.
receive, or no, not what, but how you're going to receive it. Because I get information dropped into my head, and I started. That was at the beginning, and then I started seeing like movies in front of me, and now I hear things like I get a voice that says you know like light codes. I heard that loud and clear. Those are light codes. And and that's a progression. That's part of development. That's part of your spiritual development. That's just how it happens. You work
Yes.
start with your strengths. If your strength is clairvoyance, then you're more likely to see things. But stop thinking about meditation as okay, meditation is the road to where you want to go. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Meditation is a way of calming yourself and quieting your that insane monkey on crack that's jumping on the trampoline. A way of quieting that
Yeah.
monkey so that other things can come in. So yeah, if you
Practice. Yeah.
overthink things, overthinker here, if you tend to overthink things, that's going to be really difficult.
It
What
takes.
helped me is guided
Mhm.
meditations, like just on YouTube. There's a ton of
Yeah.
them. Those help. There's also there's one meditation that I really like is it's a 20-minute chakra balancing meditation, and
Mhm.
Mhm.
um,
That's a
and
good one.
that's a really good one because there's some really beautiful images, and the
Yeah.
images keep that damn monkey quiet.
There's
Uh,
I love meditation. And, I meditate every day, and it's bad because I've been going to bed like really late because I meditate before I go to sleep. And even though it's late, I'm tired. No, I am consistent. I'll go and I do like 20, 25 minutes before I go to sleep. And then when I don't, it's like I crave that time of meditation. I need to do it every day now. So it takes a little practice, and I love the suggestion that Linda mentioned about, online. There's so many um, wonderful meditations out there, and free, available to everybody. And perhaps also I'll say watch the video of the class again to do it. Take a step
yeah,
back and
yeah.
do it from the
I like
beginning.
Val's, I like
on.
Val's meditation because she makes you do some chakra
Wonderful.
medicine. Okay. Um,
So, well, what I just wanted to offer, this is on in my playlists, and I just made it public. So, if you
Lovely.
want to go to my channel and hit on my
okay.
playlist, view all, this is in the list.
Thank you. Lovely.
Okay,
Great.
and you'll just scroll down the list and it'll come up. And she runs through all of them in it. And this one you want to set some time aside because
Yeah.
I think it goes about 45 minutes, but the visual is wonderful.
Yeah.
I did an oil
Linda,
painting because of it.
oh, lovely. So yeah, Linda has our channels listed under the description of the video. So
Yeah.
please like, share, and
Yeah.
subscribe.
So,
Paul
so
returned, ladies. So he has the mediumship question. I am practicing my mediumship, but I don't get them like that fast, like you may um, message
Oh,
from
Barbara
him.
Ann. Bye, bye, bye. Oh, Barbara Ann. Barbara Ann. Please take my hand. Barbara Ann, you got me rocking and a rolling, rocking and a reeling. Barbara Ann, Barbara Ann. Well, that just came in.
That launched Wanda right off my kneecaps. Let me see where she landed. Hang on.
Maybe her name was Barbara in a past life. I think she's got a great sense of humor. She says, I've just been busy driving in my little Deuce coupe. Was she a fan of the Beach Boys? Because I keep getting these Beach Boys songs.
Was she a
She had old timers, okay. Old timers or
Yeah, he says yep.
Old timers up here or old timers
Elvis
in cars? Because I'm a Detroiter, we call them old timers.
Yeah, he says Elvis.
Okay, cool. There you go. Yep. Okay, good. Doo-wop. All right. She's coming in and she's happy and she's tooling with her little Deuce coupe. She's my little Deuce coupe. You don't know what I mean. There you go. She sees you, Paul. Everything's fabulous on the other side. So she's singing Little Anthony and the Imperials. The first slow dance she ever had, but don't tell Paul. I went to a dance looking for romance. Saw Barbara Ann, and I thought I'd take a chance. Barbara Ann, Barbara Ann.
Paul, you need to, after the live, you need to go and listen to this song, and your mom will be dancing there with you.
That's right. There you go. There you go. I hope that puts some lift in your heart, Paul.
Ron says he went to Diana's channel and there isn't a list. It's a playlist. If you move the tab along, you'll see playlists and you click on that, and that's where you'll find it. It's not like on the front page. You have to, there's tabs for videos, lives, blah blah, and on and on. Okay, so the one you want is the playlist tab.
Yeah, and Paul, thank you for sticking around.
Yes,
you waited. This was the last question. Thank you so much for hanging.
I'm getting some hits for you too, Paul. I think, I'm not sure. Your mother looks like she's in her maybe early 30s, late 20s to me. She's got curly dark hair. I asked for a Barbara, and this is Barbara Paul Freed's mom, and this is the spirit the soul that I am talking to. It may not be your mom, so I'm asking you to confirm if she had curly dark hair when she was in her late 20s, early 30s. She's not really skinny and she's not fat. She's comfortably, she's comfortable. And she's wearing pink. Yeah, okay, all right. She's very happy. She's around you a lot. Every time you think of her, she's right there. And she is she's very concerned and tries to give you, sorry? She's very concerned and she's just hi Gerald. Welcome to like hour 3.
It's a marathon here, Gerald.
Well, and I can't get it out of my head. You don't remember me, but I remember you. Was not so long ago. You broke my heart in two, tears on my pillow,
Oh man.
pain in my heart over you. Little Anthony. Oh my God, little Anthony.
Um,
Those are the days.
uh, what was I can't remember what I was gonna say now.
I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. That's all right. I could have just barreled over you, but I mean, I like hearing those too. Yeah, I don't like hearing you though. Oh, that's not true. I love you. You can squawk all you want. Just try to keep it away from. Just try to keep it in my deaf ear. Um, she's concerned about you and concerned about the things that are facing you and concerned about the choices that you're making. And she sends you messages in your dreams. So start writing your dreams down because you will find, hush, you will find messages in there from her. She's she's trying to communicate with you. Um, and not having a lot of luck, she says, and just sort of, throws her hands up, not having a lot of luck. I like her. She's kind of feisty and very sweet. A very very lovely soul, and you absolutely were the light of her life. Golly, mother of us all.
She bite you?
No, she
She's
just
kissing.
oh.
What did she do? She screamed in your ear?
Yeah, she screamed in my ear. Like directly into my ear. I lost whatever little ear cell I had left. Paul says she's bored, right? Paul says he's writing a novel this summer on his life. Okay, so that's what she's trying to communicate. That is what she's trying to communicate to you. That is clear and unequivocal. Write your dreams down. Pay attention to the little voices of inspiration that are kind of worming their way into your consciousness while you're in the flow of writing. Just dump it all on the page. Just get it all there and edit later. Don't edit while you're writing. These are the writer's tips that I have picked up from other people. What else can I tell you? She's excited about the book. She's excited about
you a musician yourself? Desperately, do I remember Desperately Devoted to You? Of course I remember Desperately Devoted to You. Doo-wop on the street corners. I grew up in Detroit, lots of Motown. Hitsville, USA was where I went to high school. And Hitsville, USA is the original Motown studio. It's an old house on West Grand Boulevard. It's still standing there, even though Motown went to LA. And I went to grade school with Vince Fournier, who grew up to be known as Alice Cooper. But Diana Ross and the Supremes went to Western. I went to St. Casimir's, which was a couple miles away from there. But on the street corner, all of us are singing everybody's songs, everything. We go to Dandy's for lunch, smoke a couple of cigarettes, eat a hamburger, and put all of our money in the jukebox because the hamburgers were only a dime. And we'd all be standing out there singing all the harmonies with the Four Tops and the Temptations and Diana Ross and the Shirelles and everybody. And then came Stevie Wonder. Fingertips, part 1. Not even any words. Clap your hands if you want to. Clap your hands. And Aretha. Oh my God, that's enough about me. But
your mom liked to dance.
Yeah. A dime, Randy, a dime for a White Castle. Well, it was Dandy's restaurant, but just like a White Castle. It was the red and white castle. And so, yeah. And of course the holes were free. That was their big thing, because there was so much shrinkage, because there was so much water, that they started punching holes in the middle. The best part were those steamed squishy white bread buns, man, and a ton of mustard and the little toasted onions that they would all do on the grill at the same time. But I also live by the slaughterhouses, so hence I'm a vegan today.
Yeah, that would do it.
Yeah, that did it.
Yeah.
Once I understood what that smell was hanging over my head all those years.
Oh, God. Yeah. Okay, so Paul, I hope that helped. Your mom is a very, very cool woman. Thank you so much, Barbara. That was I really appreciate that. And I know Paul does too. So
Well,
short,
met
short,
Olivia Newton-John. That's cool.
the short,
Randy.
the short message is the TLDR is be open to inspiration, because she is communicating with you, and her assistance in writing this book, her assistance will be really I want to say integral, whatever, however you say. I've only ever seen that word like in print, so
Whichever way you comes out of your lips is the right way.
whichever way is the right way.
Integrity, integral.
Yeah. That's
Interrogated.
that was my logic. That was my phonetic logic. Integral,
Right?
integral,
She
whatever.
asked me why the singer's name is Alice. I said, listen now, baby, you really
Okay,
want
now we're
to
getting into the crazies.
understand. Well, his mother was progressive. She didn't get stuck in the 50s.
No, it wasn't. Okay. All right. I think we're done. I think
we're fine.
I think
Time
we're
for
pretty well.
healing.
We're so
Time for healing and closing the records.
Yeah.
okay, yeah. So Diana is
Diana, do
going
the
to
honors.
Sure. Okay.
in our clearing. And
Let's close by clearing ourselves.
man, we broke all the records today.
We did it all. We did it all today. So we're going to inhale 3 times, and as always, hold at the top. With your lips parted. Once again. Please place us in a steady stream of divine white light, the white light of divine guidance and grace. Michael, wrap your blue bubble of protection around us that shrinks to fit as we step into the healing teal green orb of Raphael that floats and shares and spreads and transfers. The divine white light, the white light of divine guidance and grace, so mote it be.
I would like to close by thanking the light for the truth. I would like to close by thanking the light for the healing energy. And I would like to close by thanking the light for the guidance and compassion towards our soul's purpose. And with this, we lock the record of the group of people here and those who will watch in the future. The records are now closed.
Thank you. Thank
My
you all
bum is.
for sticking around with us. And
Don't forget to do the like, share, and subscribe. And we may have a clue as to why Viviani couldn't stream this week, and so we'll have that fixed by next week so that we can live stream. off
Yeah.
of Viviani's going to be hosting next week.
Yeah, I'm hosting next week. So we'll see you all 5 p.m. Eastern and 2 p.m. Pacific next Tuesday.
And what are you doing this week, Viviani? What have you got coming up?
I don't really have any lives planned for this week. So our so far I have just have our Akashic Adventures on Tuesday. Nothing
Okay.
else scheduled at the
And
moment.
Diana?
Well, the dream show is at 9, and then I'm on with Allie and
Mhm.
Mark, who Animal
Spirit
Whisperer.
Whisperer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Spirit
thank you,
Whisperer.
Mark.
Yeah.
Spirit Whisperer,
Yeah.
Mark, on Thursday at 5, and then Valerie and I are coming on at 7 with astrology and the healing that we are all needing, and understand a little more understanding, of course, to go along with what's going on in the sky and the downloads we're all getting.